Hi guys, welcome back to SportsZone. This is Ice Time, our hockey segment. For this special segment, we will only be talking about women's hockey. I'm Meredith.
And I'm Sydney, and we're going to start out by talking about the NHL All-Star Game, which is related to the NWHL and all the sorts of things that are going on because they invited the U.S. Women's National Team to demonstrate some of the skills during the All-Star Skills competition.
And
Hillary Knight was the one to demonstrate the accuracy contest. And based on her time and numbers, even though they didn't officially record her, she would have come in third, which puts her in front of Sidney Crosby, Steven Stamkos,
Brad Marchand,
James Neal, I think. Yeah. So she would have come in third place overall.
Just showing the men how to do it.
Which was very impressive. And they also had Amanda Kessel, Megan Duggan,
Haley Skarupa,
and a couple other of the notable players on the women's national team who will be going to the Olympics this February and hopefully taking home the gold again.
Nice. In NWHL news, which is one of the two women's hockey leagues, the Boston Pride and the Buffalo Beauts went to a 10-round shootout. Incredible. The Beauts ended up taking it, but there were a couple of incredible saves by both goaltenders.
And it was especially impressive because Boston has had a pretty unremarkable season so far. Out of the 11 games that each of the NWHL teams have played so far, Boston has won, I believe, 2. The Metropolitan Riveters are at this point undefeated, and I believe Buffalo's at 7. So there's a pretty sharp divide right there.
Go Rivs!
Of course. Also related to that, we have the news of the Pegula family, who owns the Bills and the Sabres, buying the NWHL team, the Buffalo Beauts, which is, I believe, the second official team pairing between an NHL and NWHL team, which comes after the Jersey Devils pairing with the Metropolitan Riveters.
And with the Pegula family buying them, it's the first non-league owned team. The Rivs have the partnership with the New Jersey Devils, but now they're actually owned by someone outside of the league, which is really cool.
Which is super exciting because now they have options for a lot more marketing, and hopefully we'll be playing in a better facility, maybe. And also that brings us to the NWHL All-Star Game, which they just announced the roster for, and they're partnering, I believe, somewhat with the Minnesota Wild, but they're also going to be playing with the Minnesota Whitecaps college hockey team. Some of those players are going to be participating in the All-Star Skills game with the NWHL.
Very cool. So the All-Star teams are Team Ott and Team LeVay.
And they just announced the rosters a few days ago. And this is the first time that there is no fan vote for the All-Star rosters. So a lot of fan favorites like Harrison Brown, Madison Packer, I think a few others, were left off of the All-Star roster for the first time this year.
Lame.
Yeah.
In CWHL news, which is the other women's hockey league,
we had some of the China teams were hosting the Calgary Inferno last week. And the China teams, as usual, are really just doing fantastic, which is wild for 2 first-year teams, especially when they have...
Well, the Red Stars are practically the Chinese national team, so that's what they have going for them.
Which is all sorts of strange stuff going on with that. But of course, the Montreal Canadiens are still tied for first with Kunlun Red Star, I believe. So they're definitely putting up a fight to keep up with these new teams.
That's all we have for you this week on Ice Time Women's Hockey Edition. You're watching SportsZone, and we'll be back with more.